All righty, one person is here, so that's always good enough for me to start. I was recently looking into GLP1s because it seems like a really bad idea. And the reason I feel like it seems like a really bad idea is because even though it would be really great if it were true that there were shortcuts in life, there aren't. And I know this, spending enough time on this planet. And I think the healthier option is to develop better eating habits, have more will. It takes a lot of willpower to lose weight, for sure. You have to really want to do it. You have to really pay attention to what you're eating. For me in the past, what's worked is I've kind of turned it into a game where I track everything and I eat at a deficit and I exercise, and that's how you lose weight. Okay. It's not usually a fun process, but I've been looking into these drugs because I have a very sneaking suspicion that not only do they stop cravings for food or drugs, because it seems like they are also being used for addiction, but they stop cravings for anything. And so I also looked up some articles about how they could be connected to suicidal ideation. So suicide and suicide attempt in users of GLP-1 receptors. This one says there is no connection. This one says there is. Then there's this article is a new weight loss drug making people fall out of love. Then we have this article, GLP-1 receptor agonists and suicidality, caution is needed. And then there's this update on FDA's ongoing evaluation of reports of suicidal thoughts or actions in patients taking a certain type of medicine. And then there's this, which just, to me, it's just kind of part of the whole package of it killing passion. Clinical review of how these medications decrease sexual desire. And so I really think we might be facing an issue here with these things. I don't think there's any quick fix. And kind of what led me down this rabbit hole recently was I saw this clip of Sam Altman talking about how at one point he took a huge dose of it, and these were the effects. Please say hello if you're here. I'm going to play this clip.
I mean, it's all around.
When the GLP-1s first came on the scene, long time ago, like many, many years ago,
right,
there was this compounding pharmacy that'll make it for you. I tell you what a compounding pharmacy was. So they make it for me. They screw up the dosing, and I don't remember the exact number, but a mega overdose.
Yeah.
And I had never taken it before, so I had like no tolerance or whatever.
Right.
And I like injected it like it's like a Sunday or something. Let's call it 11 a.m. 2 p.m., 3 p.m. start feeling really bad, convinced I'm like really sick.
What's really weird is that this woman is in the next clip I'm going to show you with Bill Maher. I don't know why Kara Swisher is all over the place talking about this. And then she's very snobby to Bill Maher. She says something like, "Oh, I talk to actual scientists, so you don't know what you're talking about." What's going on, Suproth? What's going up, Dijon Paul? What's going up? What's going on? All right, what's up? What's going on?
It's over for dinner that night. My now husband looks at me. He's like, "You're dying." I don't know. You're like, you got some crazy. You're dying.
Yeah.
And I hadn't put it together that it was this yet.
Oh, wow.
And I go to bed feeling horrible, puking all night, whatever.
Yeah.
I now have kind of put together that maybe it has to do with this.
Maybe. Yeah.
And I, my pulse is like 150, something like that. Like blood sugar, unbelievably, like just like fully crashing in the beginning with this ER.
Yeah.
And then like over the next day, they give me like a glucose drip, whatever.
Yeah.
Over the next day, we kind of figure
Figure
out
out you were
happened, but there's nothing
misdosed.
you can do. You just wait.
Right.
And an interesting and
It's like a bad acid trip. There's nothing you can do. Just wait.
unknown thing about this is or not that well known, is it makes you not have a desire to eat.
Yes.
Take enough of it makes you have a desire, not have a desire for anything else.
Right. And so that's what I'm very worried about. There are no shortcuts in life. Okay. And when some miracle drug like this comes around, there's always going to be a sort of monkey's paw making a deal with the devil situation. So not only does it cut cravings for food, but it cuts cravings for wanting to live.
So I spend, and I'm usually like a very kind of like, I need a lot of like, I need like new stuff to think
Yes,
about.
I know. I'm the same way.
And I have these few days laying in this hospital bed staring.
Also, as I was watching this interview, the camera work was really pissing me off. I'm like, do we really need handheld camera work while we're doing an interview? CNN, set up a couple stationary cameras, please. Thank you.
White ceiling.
Right.
Thinking nothing, not looking at my phone, not wanting anything.
Right.
Feeling terrible.
Right.
But just no desire for anything.
Right.
One thing that is better about longevity is everybody gets old.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's like a mass market there. You don't have to worry about that part.
Mm-hmm.
I do think these things where there's only like 20,000 people in the world that have a disease, it's not so obvious about.
Right.
Like
Anyway, that's his clip about these drugs, the GLP1s. And then there's this clip that I saw that's going around on Twitter with Bill Maher talking about it also. A Kara Swisher is ever present for some reason. I have no idea why. She did have a series called Kara Swisher Wants to Live Forever, in which she and CNN explored different sort of new age kind of things that rich people are doing to extend their lives, a sort of, what is his name? Brian Johnson kind of thing. Brian Johnson, the guy, I think that's his name, who wants to live forever. Yeah, Brian Johnson. This guy. Did you guys see this? Did you see the documentary about him? I thought it was very interesting. Anyway, let's go back to what Bill Maher is saying to Kara Swisher in this little clip here.
Look, the other thing I wanted to pick your brain about is this
GLP-1.
Okay, which Ozempic is the most famous.
One of them, yeah. There's Mounjaro,
okay.
There's all kinds, yeah.
I've been skeptical from the beginning. You seemed less so. Now
I am less so because I've talked to a lot of.
Okay.
Right, I'm less so because I've talked to a lot of actual scientists. I'm better than the rest of you people. That's how these people come across to me. Anyone who warns them about things, whether it be this or the experimental medicine that they rolled out during COVID-19, they are superior. They talk to the real actual scientists. We're just plebs that don't know anything. Don't look at things with your eyes, guys. Don't look at things. Don't listen to your instincts. Don't do that. Put all of that aside. Listen to the real scientists.
Well, scientists.
Did you see the articles that were out this week?
I did, in the Washington Post.
Okay. I've been hearing this on the low for a while.
On the low? From
yes.
Who?
I'll tell you after the show.
All right, okay.
Somebody you would know.
Okay, all right.
Somebody like that who has a lot of money, big tech, blah, blah,
Right,
blah.
yeah.
And said, he's been hearing, and in his company also, they don't like their employees on this stuff because
they don't work hard enough for the
they
man?
don't.
Oh, well.
Okay, it takes away your craving.
Like, bitch, shut up. Like, you know what? With your privileged background, as if you've ever had to work that hard a day in your life, you stupid writer.
For food and maybe substance abuse.
Yeah.
Also kind of for success and sometimes for living and for being motivated. They get kind of logy.
I don't know what logy means, Bill. But I think it's very worrisome. And I think the reason why so many celebrities seem to be on it, and this is, why don't you put on a tinfoil hat with me right now, is because these drugs are making it easier to control said celebrities. If you are taking a drug that makes you lose any kind of passion or drive, really, it takes your drive away, your will, you're going to be much more easily manipulated. And it sounds like people who are, it almost sounds like people that have eating disorders. And I'm not really sure which article they were referring to. Washington Post, GLP1. The first hit I'm getting here on Google is people with eating disorders are taking them. I mean, it's just not, there are no shortcuts in life. And it is just not, I think, in my humble pleb opinion, that this is not a good thing for people. And I think it's, if you don't have an eating disorder, it's emulating an eating disorder, because the thing that it's doing is making you eat less. And that's not, yes, losing weight, part of it is eating less, but part of it is also eating more healthy foods, whole foods, exercise. Like, you can be on a calorie deficit, but if you're under, like, I don't know, let's say like 900 calories a day, you're starving yourself. So I really think these things are very, very dangerous. Like, this is just my thought. These are just my instincts on it. Your body naturally would compensate somehow. Taking these sorts of drugs that obstruct mechanisms in your body are inferior to the actual pursuit of optimal health. Right, because it's a mindset. There's no quick fix. You have to change your mindset, and you have to have the will to want to do it. And if you don't want to, that's fine too. I think fat people should be allowed to live full, happy lives. Okay. I'm not here for that kind of thing. I'm here to say that losing weight is a difficult thing. And these drugs seem to be making people into desireless pods, husks of themselves, if you will. Superout says to listen to your body, do the logical calculations, don't be fooled by miracle cures. Exactly. You've heard it has Gila monster venom in it? Really? I've never even heard that. I just think that there's no such thing as a quick fix. That's what, that's my personal opinion on this. I'm not really sure what you mean by that, other than like people are eating foods that are not nutritional. Like, I'm about to write a book about how to be poor and have good nutrition at the same time. It's called Eating a Lot of Rice. It's called Eating a Lot of Rice and sweet potatoes and tuna fish and beans and, things that aren't necessarily, I guess, super appealing to Zoomers. There was like, I see this to you guys all the time. I have to delete Twitter because every time I open it recently, it's some bullshit conversation about, I don't know, like the hungry caterpillar and how the hungry caterpillar is terrible art and you shouldn't show it to kids, which is just retarded. Or it's the casting stuff with Christopher Nolan and his stupid new Odyssey film. And, oh, how dare they cast a Black woman? Like, if you're here for those kinds of identity politics, you can unsubscribe right now, because it is not shit that I care about. And it is shit that I wish people would stop talking about. It is boring. I don't care what Christopher Nolan is doing. I don't like his movies. It's really as simple as you don't have to watch it. You can watch the 90s version of the Odyssey, which is what I would show my high schoolers, because it's pretty good. It's pretty like, on point with the book or the poem. It's an epic poem, rather. So watch this instead. If you want, if you're so upset about Christopher, I'm more upset about the idea that Matt fucking Damon is Odysseus. What are you talking about? Someone suggested that there should be like a Muppets Odyssey, which I think would be really hilarious if there was a Muppets version of the Odyssey and Christopher Maloney was Odysseus. But like, I guess I'm more pissed off that it's Matt Damon. Like, I don't care about the other stuff. All right, so I just really wanted to talk about how I think GLP-1s are probably dangerous, and there is no quick fix to anything. And if you truly want something in life, you got to work hard for it. That's including weight loss. And then now I guess I'm like bitching about stupid discourse on Twitter or whatever. So I guess we're on the Twitter bookmarks part of the live stream. It looks like there are 7 people here. Thank you so much for joining me today. It looks like Terry's here. What's going on? X has been, it's a cesspit. It's terrible. It is so fucking bad. And like I don't care. Like, I think the right has an issue, like an art problem. Like, I talk about art and I talk about degeneracy in art because it's interesting. But if those same degenerate artists didn't make their degenerate art, what would I be talking about? Let's be real. Let's get real here. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Wouldn't that be amazing? A Muppets version of the Odyssey? Like, it would be so good. I love the Muppets so much. Jim Henson was truly a genius, I think. What's going on, Pinocchio's helicopter? We're just talking about dumb culture war stuff and how horribly racist a lot of the denizens of Twitter are, and how you have to remind yourself to go outside and talk to normal people and know that no one, at least not many people, are going to voice these kinds of opinions out loud, because they're not popular opinions. What Twitter does is it gives people the the layer of being anonymous. But let's, there's racism on all sides of every equation, it seems, because we've all been subsumed by these identity politics that are really just not useful. So it looks like I've got my first Twitter bookmark today is about Spencer Pratt running for Los Angeles mayor. And I don't think he's going to win. I mean, I hope he does, because what's interesting to me is that these people still don't understand why Trump won. Like, he won because people are tired of the policies that are pro-criminal, pro-terrorist, anti-America. People are upset with this stuff. And I think Spencer Pratt has tapped into that. I mean, it really isn't hard to talk trash about Los Angeles. Like, I don't know if anyone's been there. The last time I was in Los Angeles was maybe about 6 or 7 years ago. And it's true. Every corner smelled like human urine. And homelessness is a problem. And I'm not really sure what the solution is, but he's right about drug addicts. He's right that a lot of these people don't even want housing. That's not really the solution. And so Rolling Stone, I guess, says his entire life has been fueled by an unfathomable level of self-confidence, despite a data set that suggests he may not be good at anything. And I just don't know why Rolling Stone hates America so much. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. We're on the verge of our 250th year anniversary here, and I don't even see, any love for a country that is innovative, is exceptional in a lot of ways, has done a lot of good, has done a lot of bad too. But show me a country that hasn't. Okay? Show me a country that has its hands clean of blood. Show me one. I don't think you could. I really just don't. So what's going on here? Yeah, Spidey is back. Did they do it? I don't even know. Mayor race, Los Angeles polls. She's in the lead. This is one day ago. These are the polls. When does the actual election date? Election date. June 2nd. So no, it hasn't happened yet, according to what I'm looking at here. So one of the funnier comments under this was Rolling Stone's entire publication has been fueled by an unfathomable level of self-confidence despite a data set that suggests it may not be good at anything. I love when people do that with comments. They just take the same comment and twist it around a little bit. You must have empathy for these opinions, though. Some people see these opinions and they think, finally, the world is catching up with me. Which opinions? You were in LA a bunch of times. Even in infamous Skid Row, there's high rises and naive career transients running around there just feet away from the poor addicts. Yeah. And it's one of the most expensive cities, too. It's not even a real city. Like, I'll have to just do some, like, East Coast shade here. Los Angeles is not a real city. It's a town with a bunch of suburban sprawl around it. That's what it is. America rules. You were praying for her to stop being a communist or, or what? Yeah. You're one county south, so you can't vote for these people. Well, everyone in my audience would be probably upset with me because I've never actually once voted. But if I did live in Los Angeles, I would vote for Spencer Pratt. I just would. But I am very worried that they're going to like steal the election. I really think that's what happened when Biden was elected. You know, I guess that makes me a kooky tinfoil hat person, but whatever. It just didn't seem right that somehow Joe Biden got more votes than Obama. That doesn't make any sense to me. Obama was actually like a very popular guy, you know. I did not see the same popularity with Biden. I think it was I think that was rigged. Downtown LA is tiny. Yeah, it's like as big as my fist. And it has more belligerent homeless people running around than Skid Row, where they're mostly sitting and nodding out. I mean, it's a problem, I think, you know, in our entire country right now. And the solutions that leftists have put forward are enabling the behavior rather than, I don't think they're actually helping these people. I don't think these people, they think that they're giving these people dignity by like supplying them with clean needles, all these kind of harm reduction policies. But I think what they're doing is just placating it, putting a Band-Aid on a problem, not actually solving any kind of, not having any kind of real solution in the policy whatsoever. And people who pay taxes and work hard shouldn't have to deal with that, right? And there's a part of me that's like, what if I just become like a junkie and I move to San Francisco? Like they would just pay for everything just if I was like a homeless junkie in San Francisco. Like Operation Natalie becomes a homeless junkie in San Francisco. Praying for her to stop being a commie and find a new job. You like LA, it's warm. LA is really fun because it has a lot of great entertainment. It has a lot of really fun things to do. It can be a very beautiful place. You know, Southern California is very beautiful. The beach is cool. Like, you know, I think he's right. He's right to do what he's doing. I don't know if he's gonna win, but I think, you know, I support him. Totally suspect. LA prices were better than NYC prices in my experience. What do you mean prices for what? Like housing or food or what? And the general cost of living is probably less. Here's the difference, okay? So in New York City, which is admittedly a very expensive place to live, you don't need a car. You can take public transit anywhere you want. In Los Angeles, you're more likely to need a car, especially if you work in the entertainment industry, even if you're like a production assistant. And that's the other thing Spencer has said, is that he wants to bring production back to Los Angeles. That's its industry. And what's going on in the entertainment industry in the last 10 years, even 20 years, as far as I know, I was like marginally in the entertainment industry at one point as a production assistant, is that a lot of productions go to other states because they get better tax breaks. Places like New Mexico, you wouldn't even believe how many projects are shot in New Mexico. It's like a mini Los Angeles, Albuquerque. Places like, I forget which of the Carolinas it is. But there are a lot of other states that encourage the film industry to go there, even Canada, right? Like the entire X-Files was shot in Canada, basically. And it is because of the tax incentives of these other places. And they need to, I think, also bring production back to Los Angeles. So he's right about that. Sometimes you hear a homeless person talking about being homeless and they make it sound like it's fun. I mean, this has been an issue in American cities for a very, very long time. The policies clearly have not worked, and we need to do something different. I don't know what the solution is, but I'm tired of the status quo. You know, I left Philadelphia because it was getting very dangerous to take public transit. I'd be on the subway, people were smoking cigarettes, they were smoking blunts. And I have lived in Philadelphia on and off for like 20 years, and it was not like that in the early 2000s. It was dangerous. There were homeless people in Rittenhouse Park that would yell at me, for sure. But the thing is that person is probably mentally ill, and I know it's not personal, but it does make for a lesser experience and feeling safe. And I think Spencer Pratt is right. The number one way to clean up our cities is to return to law and order. A lot of people are very uncomfortable with that. It's nice and should be better taken care of, for sure. Food and other general goods. I did not have the same experience in LA being cheaper than New York City. I think they're both kind of on par with each other. Although in my trip to London recently, I felt like things were very inexpensive as far as like food and places to stay. LA traffic is insufferable. Yeah, they don't really have the same level of public transit as New York. And New York, the issue with New York is that system is falling apart because they are never able to shut it down because it runs like 24 hours a day. Yes, I've taken public transit in Los Angeles, but it was not very useful. It took a long time. And the last time I think it was actually 10 years ago that I was there last. And that was when like Uber and Lyft were actually really cheap. So I was like amazed. I had just come back from Japan and I was like, what do you mean I could pay a stranger to ride in their car? And they were still doing like the car share thing, where they would pick up multiple passengers before like COVID ruined that. Although I do miss a traditional taxi cab, I gotta say. I did have an idea that like I should get like an old junky car and make it into a gypsy cab, because one of my jobs that I always wanted to do was be a cab driver or a bartender, one of those kinds of things. But I feel too old to start new. I don't know. My life is a mess though. Total mess. America would be in a better state if production generally in all industries came back. Yes. Yeah, they do filming in Portland. Philadelphia became even more of a shithole. Like, I don't think it was a shithole before, I will admit that, but it became even more of one after 2020. And it became, for me, someone who I don't really want a car, even though I'm about to buy one. You know, very spoiled by Japanese public transit for sure. Like I think people who, I'll say it again, people who pay their taxes, who work hard, who haven't become criminals, deserve safety, and clean, safe streets. And I think we should do a lot of things, like with drugs specifically, is we should make it really hard for the drugs to come into the country. You know, and we have, I mean, this is total warfare, I think, from other countries shipping their drugs, China, into ours, where they have very stringent policies, right? Anywhere else in the world, really. LA is huge. I'll figure it out. Please keep praying for me. I'm doing what I'm supposed to. I'm applying to a lot of places. My new dream is to go back to New Jersey. That's my new dream. So pray for me. Adolph, West Hollywood, and other areas, 32 to 36. That's a lot of money, guys. That's a lot of money. $36 for a full meal. There's a place, well, screw Manhattan, okay? But there's even a place in here where I live that is pretty cool. Like, and we got, what did we get? We got like a bunch of appetizers and a couple of cocktails, and the bill was like only like $60. So I don't know. I think Florida is also pretty cheap in a lot of ways as far as like food and stuff. Lived just south of LA for 43 years, and you've been avoiding it for 43 years. That's so funny. The Garden State, my home. Yeah, okay. Well, then if it was upscale, that's about right for that then. You know, and if it was good, you know, I'll pay whatever for something that's really good. I've eaten at like super upscale places, like shitty holes in the wall. One of the most disappointing places I ate at was in Japan. And it was supposed to be like one of the best sushi places ever. And it was so overpriced and not even very good, and just like hella disappointing, especially when my normal place in a mall in Yokohama sold sushi for super cheap, like, and it was good. So I don't know. It's all who's back there working the kitchen, I guess. Hollywood and the totality of its industry, including those propped up in its orbit, supplanted the California that existed before it. Hollywood spurred out when the monopoly in New York squeezed it. I'm not really sure. But regarding the entertainment industry, like if you start in New York City, you eventually have to go to LA. Like New York is a place that a lot of entertainment is filmed, but the rest of the business, the rest of the industry really is in Los Angeles. Hollywood's industry and social circuit squeezes people out and has been. Industry outsiders and underdogs have been the most acclaimed. I guess they recently did a Backrooms movie with a guy who started on YouTube. So I don't know. I think they're always looking for fresh talent. I even spoke with somebody I know who became a screenwriter for, I think it was, who does he write for? I think he writes Hallmark movies. And I was asking for his advice, and he was giving me a lot of really good advice, you know, just if you want to get into screenwriting, which is something I've thought about a lot. Because I think I'm better at like the technical side of things, writing, the video side of things, cinematography, that kind of stuff. I'm not an actor, you know, I'm not a very good actor. I'm not a very convincing actor. Even my drama teacher knew that in high school. So, but he was giving me a lot of really good advice, and kind of how to study scripts that you like, you know, try to emulate them and then try to sell it. So I think Rolling Stone is really not reading the room. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think I am probably more like everyday Americans than most people. I've worked very hard, even though this year has been a year of unemployment. Um, and I'd rather be working. I want a job where I can stay at for a long time. That's kind of my dream at this time. Um, anyway, way back when the Motion Picture Patents Company had a racket going on, actual filming in NYC downturned further a bit in the 90s. Yeah, I love Hallmark movies. They're so bad. Do you know what I watched that was kind of interesting recently, though? It was a Lifetime movie, and it's on Amazon, and it's about an insane asylum. Uh, and it's very like, it's kind of like hokey, like TV movie stuff. It's this Escaping the Madhouse. I thought it was really, like, for what it was pretty good, you know? So if you're bored later and you want to watch something about how horrible we used to be to people in insane asylums, you should check that out. And Christina Ricci is very cute, so I never really get sick of watching things. I don't think she's like the greatest actress, but she's very cute and she's aging very well. All right, so that was my first Twitter bookmark. So, would you guys, if you lived in Los Angeles, would you vote for Spencer Pratt? What do you think? Best Hallmark movie is Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. What is that? Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Have you ever been to Bethlehem? It's a very boring place. You said it was a Hallmark movie? Hallmark movie? The Miracle in Bethlehem, PA. I haven't seen this. Oh, it's a Christmas one too. Is that the one you're talking about? Should I be watching that? You would vote for Spencer Pratt. Yes, Christina Ricci's adorable. Hard to vote for Spence, but I probably would out of the choices. Yes, they film almost all Hallmark films are made in Canada because they have very good tax breaks on filmmaking. And the Ontario, every time I watch a Canadian production, it's like got so many other little production companies attached to it. And Canada, I still think, like, really appreciates the arts. Out of state. Yeah, have you been to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, though? I have. I mean, it's cute. It's like any other, like, PA town, like small PA town. Like, heck, I'm about to move to like Pottstown or something. I don't know. I have a friend that lives in Pottstown. Now we're just getting into like Philly suburbs. And I was born in Phoenixville. I was born in this town. Although I grew up in New Jersey. All right, what else do I have in my Twitter bookmarks? So Spencer Pratt, my audience says that they would vote for him. I think that I am, yeah, whatever. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I don't care. All the good people are here today, so it's all good. Like, and yeah, sure, look me up. There's nothing you're going to find that's even that interesting. I'm actually a pretty boring person. And anything that's spicy, I've definitely kept to myself. Something that the younger generation should learn, right? Stop oversharing everything on the internet. Some things are better left to your own private life. All right, Spencer Pratt, we would vote for. Oh my God. This is just a chill stream today, guys. I don't know if you've seen this. I guess it's not a parody. I guess it's serious. This is one of those real men ads. I don't know if it's real. It looks like AI to me, to be honest, but
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
I'm a man, man.
And I'm man enough.
I'm man enough to enjoy a barrel-proof bourbon.
Neat.
Man enough to cook my steak rare.
Man enough to deadlift 500, then braid the out of my daughter's hair.
You think I'm afraid to rebuild a carburetor? I eat carburetors for breakfast.
you eat more than that for breakfast.
I ain't afraid of bears.
That's what bear hugs are for.
I'll tell you another thing I sure as shit am not afraid of. Women.
I'm not afraid of women.
I'm not.
I don't think the left is afraid of women. I think they hate women. I think they hate women more than the men on the right do, because they believe that men can become women and vice versa. And to me, that means that you hate women.
I'm afraid of women.
They want to control their bodies? I say go for it.
They want to use IVF to start a family? I'm not afraid of families.
They want to be childless cat ladies?
Have all the cats you want.
Woman wants to be president?
Well, I hope she has the guts to look me right in the eye and accept my full-throated endorsement.
Because I'm man enough to support women.
Man,
His full-throated endorsement while he gives his friend a reach around.
Full-throated endorsement.
Because I'm man enough to support women.
man enough to know what kind of donuts I like.
Man enough.
What is that? Is that a reference I don't understand? We make fun of unmanly men because they don't know what kind of
To
donuts.
admit I'm lost, even when I refuse to ask for directions.
Man enough to not ban young women from reading Little Women.
Or one of those pants books that the sisters like.
I'm man enough to raw dog a flight. It sucked. Not worth it.
I'm man
does
enough
that
to be
mean?
emotional in front of my wife.
In front of my kids.
In front of my horse.
Ew.
I'm man enough to tell you that I cry at Love Actually. Goodwill Hunting.
West Side.
That dude cries at Goodwill Hunting. So that Howard Zinn book was going around again, and people were like talking trash about that Howard Zinn book that appears in Goodwill Hunting. The only reason why it appears in Goodwill Hunting is because Matt Damon and Howard Zinn were neighbors. I also refuse to believe that Matt Damon / Ben Affleck wrote that film. I have a sneaking suspicion that it was Rob Reiner. That's just my thought, you know.
Story.
That and Predator.
And I'm sick of so-called men domineering, belittling, and controlling women just so they can feel more powerful. That's not how my mama raised me.
I love women.
I love women who support their family.
I don't think that guy, where is he?
And Predator.
And I'm sick of so-called men domineering, belittling, and controlling women just so they can feel more powerful. That's not how my mama raised me.
I love women.
I don't think this guy loves women. What do you?
I love women who support their families.
Women who decide not to have families.
Women who take charge.
And I'm man enough to help them win.
Okay, so I thought I'd share that. What's going on in your chats? Still mad at Spence for how he treated Heidi, but I guess I can forgive him. I never watched The Hills. You know, it was not something I was very interested in as a hipster. It was not on my radar. But I do love that clip of Spencer Pratt and his crystals. It's so funny. Spencer Pratt, crystals. Crystal. This is so good. I love this clip so much. YouTube's giving me a hard time because my ad. I expect him more that he went through a crystals phase. The Jean Paul, I think everybody low-key hates all women and men. It's just a disdain for humanity, really real misanthropic society, huh? Let women have whatever man thing we want. Agreed. He's not good at his job. When I think of American lefty men, I think of wolf in sheep's clothing. Yes, exactly. But like, I'm a feminist. I'm a feminist. I care about your rights. Oh, like, okay, sure. Like, shut up. There's no such thing as a male feminist, and any dude that says he's a feminist is suspect as fuck. Yeah. I don't know. If you haven't had a crystal phase, I don't want to talk to you. I mean, I still have my crystals. Because they're fun, they're shiny. But I was never one of these people like, I guess what he is here in this clip. Like, I just thought they were cool looking. I never really put too much stock and belief into like their powers, you know? You should try some mint. The US would be a better place if we had more chill attitude, pseudo surfer aesthetic guys walking around again. Yeah, bring the bros back. The bros that like to go to Fish concerts or mow down or like, I don't know, Ween. Become the crystal. The crystal. Did you guys ever listen to the Crystal Method? Hello, Jamie, what's going on? Yeah, we need more. Bring that back. Bring like the Pac Sun Hollister aesthetics back with the conch shell necklaces, you know, some hemp necklaces. Yeah, crystals are very pretty and fun. Like, I don't believe that they have any kind of powers, but yeah, and like this, the reason I love this clip is that he just like obviously took it way too far. Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know about these people. It's just a chill stream today. Hold on a second. Yeah. I just gotta refresh my bookmarks. All right. All right, where were we? So we watched this man thing. Oh, here we have AOC at a religious event wearing a headscarf.
To our neighbors, our community, and to this country, we can bring light to our neighbors.
Although, I don't know, her teeth look kind of messed up. So is this video even real? Here's something interesting that I think like this is like the real 2021, 2020s mindset. Like, you know, there's racists. I am not interested in identity politics whatsoever. That's why I think these conversations about casting are retarded. I really don't care who they cast in any kind of film at all, unless you're Matt Damon trying to be Odysseus. Like, give me a break. Can't we get like a hotter, more muscular guy to do it? Crystals don't work, but broken pieces of cement have the spirit of man in it. What makes you say that? Anyway, I just want to show this clip because there are racists everywhere, black, white, whatever. The performative women support rhetoric. I wouldn't think to risk my skin and exert myself in any situation in moral defense of a woman, but I care enough about how I'm perceived. Okay. All right. Well, let's continue our chill stream. I don't know if you saw this one going around.
I think that white people are committed to being villains in the aggregate.
Cooper discusses colonialism.
White human beings thought there's a world here and we own it. Prior to them, Black and brown people have been sailing across oceans, interacting with each other.
Right, because colonialism is specifically a white thing.
For centuries without total subjugation, domination, and colonialism.
That's insane. That's crazy. Really? The Mongols didn't exist? Like, Islamic conquerors didn't exist? Are we kidding?
The professor was asked in the interview, what is the solution?
And of course it's Rutgers, one of the trashiest universities to exist.
To a more equitable sharing of resources, since the nature of white people compels them to hoard power and goods.
The thing I want to say to you is we got to take these out. But I know, but like, we can't say that, right? We can't say, like,
oh, you just did.
I don't believe in a project of violence. I truly don't.
You don't or you do?
Rutgers University student Ava Kwan reacts to Cooper's comments about race in the video.
It's not professional to have a professor who so blatantly advocates for violence against white people. To so confidently say we need to take white people out is outrageous. It's a very vile statement to make, especially as a professor working with
Does she say that? That's crazy.
Students of all different races and backgrounds. It's very disappointing to see.
Kwan says they still haven't seen a statement from Rutgers.
I'm not holding out much hope, but I do hope that we do see action from the federal government. I know that Rutgers is requesting up to $530 million in federal funding this year. And I think that now that we know that we have professors employed who are essentially advocating for white genocide.
Student Megan Doyle says it's very disappointing that Rutgers would employ someone with what she sees as such bias. Doyle recently had a heated discussion on social media with Cooper.
This professor refused to apologize for her actions and her statement on Instagram, and I decided to call her out on it.
Like, can you imagine if like a white dude said black people are spiritually inclined to enslave each other? Like, how would that go down?
Like many others would do, especially when you're a Rutgers student, you expect your professors to maintain a professional stance and not a racist one. So when you have a professor like that, you have to really question whether this professor is capable of teaching without a bias towards white students.
Cooper responded to her clips, again going viral online this month. She said she gave an interview in 2021 about the anger Black people feel at the persistence of racism. She said her remarks were misconstrued as an advocacy of violence. She said in reality, she concluded in her interview that violence is not an answer. Rutgers issued a statement of support for Cooper back when the video first aired, saying she has been subjected to racist attacks for her public scholarship. The university expressed its, quote, unequivocal solidarity with Dr. Cooper and affirmed their support of what they called her academic freedom. Ava Kwan doesn't believe what she calls advocating for violence counts as free speech.
I think that when you're making a comment, stating that we need to take a certain group of people out, you are inciting violence, and it undermines the whole concept of free speech in itself. No one is going to feel safe enough to speak up in a classroom, let's say, if they think that their professor is going to do something or believes that they need to be taken out. That doesn't allow free speech. Those kind of comments don't allow free speech. It actually shuts down free speech.
Doyle feels that racism, if directed toward certain groups, gets a free pass in institutions of higher learning.
I fundamentally believe that white racism is generally dismissed, especially in higher academics like this one.
The two students say they have received backlash for speaking out against Cooper's comments, and also previously about a professor, Mark Bray, who wrote a best-selling book, Antifa, the Anti-Fascist Handbook.
I'm pretty sure that guy fled the country because he was so afraid of the so-called fascism of the Trump administration.
Students feel if they don't speak up, who will?
I think
that guy's teeth. There was more of this clip, I think. Here, wait.
And that's the thing that white people don't trust us to do because they are so corrupt. Their thinking is so morally and spiritually bankrupt about power that they can't let.
This is all a reflection, isn't it? She's really just projecting her own insecurities.
They fear viscerally, existentially letting go of power.
I don't actually care about that, but it seems like you want power.
Because they cannot imagine that there's another way to be. It is either that you dominate or you are dominated. And isn't it sad that is spiritually who they are?
That's spiritually who we are, guys. I mean, to the white people in my audience, because I think I have Black people here too. So what's up, y'all? But that's spiritually who I am. I just want to kill all of your joy and make sure that you're put down by the man forever.
And that they can't imagine a sort of more expansive notion of the world. The thing I want to say to you is we got to take these motherfuckers out. But I know, but we can't.
Well, you already said it. Yeah, Terry, if you have a link or something, here's another. The Free Palestine cult. 13 people here today. What's going on? Make yourselves known. Incredible stuff. Oh my God. Oh, that's cool. Painting a cool house. Yeah, I think racism exists in all groups, actually, and I'm not interested in any of it. So I thought this was kind of funny. Free Palestine cult. What else do I have on my Twitter? Oh, this is fun. I'm sorry, we can't. Yeah, I think a woman like her really wants power. They crave power, and that's why they say these things. And it is scary to me that someone like that could have any kind of power at all. And she definitely does as a university professor.
I'm sorry, but we're not allowed to have flags. Flags are not flags are prohibited. We're not allowed to have flags. We are not. It's not our policy. It's the university policy. We are not allowed to have flags. Do you want to leave it here? Do you want to leave it here? We cannot display flags. We are prohibited from displaying flags. Yes.
What a selfish asshole, honestly. He knew about that flag policy, I'm sure, because it seems like a pretty across-the-board policy that most universities would have. No flags or political statements at graduation. And then I think I liked this. This is a good comment. There's a time and place for everything. Getting your degree is not the time to make political statements. This video will likely make the rounds. No serious company will hire him, and homeboy will be waiting tables for a while until the robots take that from him too. He'll blame all his misfortune on the Jays while shitposting on X from his sister's basement as the world leaves him behind. So Terry sent a clip about the lady that we just watched. I guess like Jesse Lee Peterson talked about her 6 years ago. So this is the clip that Terry sent me concerning that. Yeah, screw identity politics altogether. Honestly, they're so unproductive. And we'll never move forward as human beings, you know, as a race of human beings. If we continue down this path. So what is he's so funny. What does he have to say about it?
Of the lie like 90 going north. I want to give you another example of a woman who is a child of the lie.
Child of the lie.
And just straight out child of the lie.
I love a child of the lie.
Of the lie.
Of the lie.
This woman by the name of Brittany Cooper says that she can't lose weight because of racism. She's fat as a pig from the head to toe, right?
Oh my God.
And she says she can't lose weight.
What a special human being Jessie is.
She's black. She was on an episode of Black Women Own the Conversation, which is a show on Oprah Network, TV network, Oprah's TV network. Here's Brenda Cooper. She made the claim that racism is a factor in weight loss. Here's the first soundbite.
Like, I hate when people talk about Black women being obese. I hate it because it becomes a way to blame us for a set of conditions.
Jesse's like, because you fat.
and create. We're moving, we're taking care of kids, but our food.
Have some self responsibility. Like, okay.
Quality suffers. We are living in the Trump era. And look, those policies kill our people. You can't get access to good health care, good insurance. The research says that Black women, when we do the same diets as white women, we lose less weight and we lose it slower.
Yeah, because I think y'all be lying.
Even when we're following the diet than our white women counterparts. And what public health practitioners think is that our stress responses in the body change our metabolism. It's literally that the racism that you're experiencing and the struggle to make ends meet actually means the diet don't work for you the same.
Wow. Oh my fucking God. Terry, you're killing me with this clip. Oh my gosh. Yes, I have also. Yes, pure honesty, no filter. Oh my goodness, this clip is killing me. I don't know if I'm going to watch the whole thing, but.
Racist! Anybody who believe that fat pig.
Oh my God, Jesse.
Fool. Really? That woman is lying up the yang. She looked like she'd ate a whole hog.
Oh
there was so many things wrong with everything she said.
Everything she
Every
said.
word was just
She was fat under Obama. She wasn't just fat under Trump.
Oh my God.
You said the racist.
She's been fat.
The racism that she sees is the cause of why Black women are fat. But
and they go,
let's just say,
that woman. I like the way I like to watch fat people eat food because they eat.
Oh
with
my
their mouth
God.
closed.
It's entertaining. We could even let's just say that that's true. That racism.
It ain't even true. That's a pure lie out of that woman fat because she got conflict.
Right.
And she loves food.
She loves
they
food.
Ain't do no racism or Trump or anything.
Let's just pretend in a crazy world that
She's fat because she loves food. She was fat under Obama. Wow, this is making my day.
racism is the cause.
All right.
So whose fault is it that they're fat because of racism? Is it the racist fault or the person who's allowed a racist to dictate if they're gonna be fat or not?
That's amazing.
Amazing.
I done heard it all. They blame the Black women are blaming their fat on racism. Now I'm eating to get fat because of racism.
And she was so serious too.
She was serious, and fat Black women sitting there. Praise the Lord. Yeah. We all fat because of Trump, because of racism, and nobody corrected her. What's wrong with Black people? Somebody should have said, "Are you a D-fool?" Isn't that amazing?
Same.
You don't get crazier than that.
It was never going to be a sustainable thing, right? Because movements built on hate are not sustainable. And that can apply to any of them, in my opinion. All right, I'll watch the rest of this later. It's killing me though. But thank you so much. Thank you for sharing it. What else do I have in my Twitter bookmarks? Trans period pride. Join Mass Now and the MA Trans Political Coalition for consciousness raising discussion on menstrual equity and the experiences of trans menstruators. Anyone free? June 17th, Boston Public Library. Check it out. Oh my goodness. I don't think this is sustainable either. Because it's built on hate, but it's also built on lies. So, I mean, I think it's sustainable as far as like the people in the cult will stay in the cult and most likely will not leave the cult. Cults can go on for a really long time, but the mass popularity of a cult wanes eventually. Yeah, I mean, you don't hear that much about Scientology anymore. Where is the Where is Shelley Miscavige? She's been missing for many years. think Dave killed her. Okay. This is just like a pleasant one. Mural. Some beauty for you guys today. Some beauty. Yeah. Need more beauty and kindness in this world, not people obsessed with identity and identity politics and race. None of these things are productive. We all have to live on the planet together. We better figure it out. I know, right? Right? Yeah, beautiful. So that's an injection of beauty for you guys today. Oh, this is funny. This is like a recalled Teletubby that I guess was calling everyone a faggot in 1998.
Happen to find this legendary bad boy. This is the recalled 1998 Teletubbies doll from Play School. Why is this one recalled? Well, supposedly it says some homophobic slurs if you put some batteries, 3 AAAs to be exact, inside of his little fun box. And this is how you can tell this is the recalled version, because they tend to have these 4 or 3 numbers on the back of the tag. Here is the original article from all the way back in 1998 on the CBS News website. In this article, a mother claims to a reporter that the doll was saying, "Bite my butt," to her 3-year-old child. So the mother went over to investigate the doll and hit the talk button several times, and it reportedly said, "Faggot, faggot, bite my butt." Well, I got the batteries loaded up, so I'll let you guys decide for yourself what it's saying. Yeah, I think my little boy's homophobic. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Now,
Oh my gosh. For young people in the audience, if you did not know what Teletubbies was, it was a really bizarre television program that would come on. It would come on normal times of the day for children, but then sometimes, I don't know if anyone else has had this experience, sometimes in the early 2000s or late 90s, if you were up at 3 in the morning, the Teletubbies would come on. I don't know why. I don't know who's up at 3 in the morning. I guess maybe moms trying to get their babies to sleep. But let's like revisit the Teletubbies intro and how bizarre it is. So if you were up at 3 in the morning on the East Coast in 1999, you were bound to see this for some reason.
Over the hills and far away.
I never noticed the whispering Teletubbies under the intro. I can't even do it.
Teletubbies come to play.
Teletubbies. Teletubbies.
1,
Oh my God.
3, 4.
Yeah, so I would watch this, I guess, like in an ironic way, really stoned at like 3 in the morning. It would come on PBS in New Jersey. Anyway, they always freaked you out. They're a little weird. I don't understand what the purpose was. I watched it as a toddler. You remember liking them? Yeah, I was too old. I mean, it was cool for me as someone who liked to do a lot of drugs, like who liked to like smoke a lot of pot. It was like a fun show to watch if you were really stoned. It makes the Muppets look totally normal. All right. So, do I have any other Twitter bookmarks that I want to? Oh, this is funny. Someone responded. The best part about this story is the CEO of the company said that the voice is of a Cantonese woman saying faster, faster, slower, slower. But I'm not hearing that at all. That's funny. I don't know if there are any other. This looks interesting, like something I would want to look into a little bit more. UN experts accepted millions of dollars from China, Russia, and Qatar, right? The enemies of the West. Cool, good on you, UN. A clip from my dinner with Andre. I think I think this is the last thing I want to talk about today is the protests outside of the Newark ICE facility. Such pleasant people these people are.
People like this. You are a protester who's been out here and you have a dirty mouth. But okay, so that's just what we deal with. So just for people that want to know what it's like to cover these protests, it's constant with this. This is what these people do. They want people who are in this country illegally to be released out onto the streets. DHS says that's what they're going to not be doing. So we'll see.
Nazi bitch, that's what you are.
Deranged.
That is an eloquent argument.
Killing me. That is an eloquent argument. Trying to throw shade. Yawning, sleepy out there in internet land, or bored by my content today. Hey, this is a chill stream. I didn't do anything. I did a little bit at the top with the GLP1s. That's like the most serious part of this stream today. What is even happening? Does anyone know about this story? Here, let's just type it in to Google. Protesters clash. I guess they pepper sprayed a senator yesterday or 2 days ago, Memorial Day. But I don't know why they're protesting. It says federal agents fired pepper balls at protesters outside Delaney Hall in Newark on Monday, following days of unrest outside the privately run immigration detention center. So Andy Kim got it. What we saw here is unfortunately just what we see all over the country. It's a sad, sad day. According to U.S. Department of Homeland Security, about 125 protesters gathered outside the facility over the weekend, at one point forming a human chain and makeshift barricades. A spokesperson for the DHS, which oversees U.S. Immigration Customs, did not immediately respond to questions from NewJersey.com regarding what weapons were deployed. But why are they there? Why are they protesting? Inmates organized a hunger strike in effort to stop inhumane conditions, including poor quality food. Subpar. Maybe you shouldn't come to our country illegally. Do your paperwork. Do your paperwork, people. Do it. Meanwhile, teenagers are dying from fentanyl overdoses. Exactly. Bored by the political happenings and their performances. Oh, it's GM Car. What's going on, GM Car? Nice job, ICE. They're protesting America having laws. I don't know, man. I think it's a waste of time. I think illegal immigration is an issue. I think we need a moratorium on all immigration at this point, to be honest, just because we have so many problems domestically we need to address. Specifically what Terry was talking about with the drugs, for sure. Do I have anything else? This is too long. It's like something I wanted to watch later. All right, I'm not a huge Christopher Hitchens fan, but let's read this quote. As 1968 began to ebb into 1969, however, and as anticlimax began to become a real word in my lexicon, another term began to obtrude itself. People began to intone the words, the personal is political. At the instant I first heard this deadly expression, I knew, as one does from the utterance of any sinister bullshit, that it was, cliché is arguably forgivable here, very bad news. From now on, it would be enough to be a member of a sex or a gender or epidermal subdivision or even erotic preference to qualify as a revolutionary. In order to begin a speech or to ask a question from the floor, all that would be necessary by way of preface would be the words speaking as a ... Then could follow any self-loving description. I will have to say this much for the old hard left. We earned our claim to speak and intervene by right of experience and sacrifice and work. It would never have done for any of us to stand up and say that our sex or sexuality or pigmentation or disability were qualifications in themselves. There are many ways of dating the moment when the left lost, or I would prefer to say discarded, its moral advantage, but this was the first time that I was to see the sellout conducted so cheaply. So I think that is a pretty apt quote for what's going on today concerning identity of politics. The US has enough people. It would be healthier for the youth to have entry-level jobs. Exactly. We need to just for like, maybe a 5-year period so we can address our own domestic issues here. This guy's hilarious. I don't know if you've ever seen him. This is the flotilla throwing phones into the ocean because they so care about the world.
Sharp. Our phones all got thrown overboard because if they got our phones, they could, get some information on the organization and try to spin that, or they could,
I mean, they don't need to spend much, my friend.
falsify data and use that as evidence. They'll probably do that anyway. And then we kind of just waited for them to arrive.
We waited. And then we ate some potatoes. Listen, I might not like identity politics, but no one will ever take away my ability to take the piss out of the Irish. Okay. This is just a movie I kind of want to watch. Was there anything? I don't think there's like anything else I really want to share here. Okay. That goes back to San Diego. Yeah, I think that's it. Teletubbies. I'll leave with like a personal anecdote. I don't listen to Roseanne that much. I think she's crazy. Here's a personal anecdote. I was talking to an old acquaintance. He's a musician. He's still a musician. And he had posted something kind of disturbing on his Facebook stories. And so I said, "Are you okay?" And he was like, "I'm really worried about, surveillance capitalism." And so me sort of being the person that I am I said, "Well, why don't you just stop worrying and buy some index funds and maybe, I don't know, invest in Palantir?" And he really, really didn't like that. He thought that I was, bending the knee to the man. And I was like, well, I think it's really important to invest in your future, and and then he was attacking me for being in Florida. He's like, "Why are you in Florida?" And so I said, well, like, I initially moved down here because my partner moved down here and that's where his parents are. And that's what happened. And that's why I'm here. But I also don't hate Trump and I don't hate, I think we need to have better policies. And I think that the Democrats have really dug themselves into a hole. But of course I was like, oh, I'm just down here for that. Like, I don't need heat on me. And I was like, if you're really truly concerned about these things, why don't you join some local politics and do something about it? You know, create more regulation around surveillance, etc. And of course, he didn't want to hear that because these people actually just want to be miserable. And that's the conclusion I've come to. And I told him, I think most of these politics make people miserable. It's just better not to be involved. And then he was bitching and moaning about his musician friends that don't even want to do anything about the current state of affairs. I'm like, yeah, because they're artists. Like, what do you expect them to do? Dan, what was his name? Is his name. And I'm just like, yeah, like maybe invest in your future. And he's like, I don't even know what any of that stuff is. And I'm like, well, you could learn. Like, it's not that difficult to like open up a Vanguard account and invest and build a portfolio. Because I'm telling you, once I have something stable, that's what I'm going to be doing. You know, this is my last thought for our live stream today. These kinds of politics really do make people miserable. I think it's better to invest in yourself and your own future. And the way to invest in yourself and your own future is to be financially literate, something a lot of people are not. And I think a lot of people in my generation are suffering arrested development, and they need to grow the fuck up. And they need to understand how the world works and make peace with it. And that's my advice to the world at this time. I think I made a comment. Let me see. Let me look at my stupid Twitter here. So Walter Kern says, activism is an engineered dead end for young people who would otherwise be getting in the game, and for boomers who already want it and are concerned with the ultimate luxury good, moral superiority. And I wrote, I told a friend to invest in his future, and he thought I was bending the knee to the man. Entire generations are locked in arrested development without making peace with what this world is and how to be happy in it. So I'm just going to leave you with that, because that's kind of how I've been feeling lately. And I think everybody should, you know, pray for my future. It's uncertain, and I hate the uncertainty. Yeah, Roseanne's hella crazy. That's why she's fun. Yeah, she's fun. She smokes cigarettes. Like, I don't really like, you know, I'll watch it occasionally. I liked her show. I thought her sitcom, it's probably one of the best things we ever made. It's one of the most honest sitcoms we ever made. And I hate what they did to her. You know, they took her intellectual property from her. That was really very disgusting. Oswald says Roseanne is batshit, but highly recommend her interview with Bishop Larry, and equally batshit Black Bishop. Okay. Yeah, I certainly did. He's like the Christian Louis Farrakhan. Oh my God, I was talking to somebody about Nation of Islam recently, and I think a lot of people don't know what the Nation of Islam is and like what they think. And I had to show my friend Yaqub. What a weird self-owned Yaqub is, by the way. Like, what do you mean a genius, like a genius black scientist created the white man to like keep you down? Like, what is that lore, guys? Like, what's that? Nation of Islam is one of the craziest cults. Own land and rent land, otherwise you'll be squeezed out and won't have as substantial assets. No, I'm looking at compound interest, baby. Index funds, compound interest. And expand ad infinitum. That's the only way to be distinct from increasing number of people who will be utterly wage earning working people. If you put food coloring on potatoes, you could call them teletator. Yeah, they accused her of racism, but that lady does look like the Planet of the Apes character. Oh shit. Anyway, Laser Away? I have a phone call from someplace called Laser Away. Like, yeah, I mean, it's a risk, but it's a pretty low risk. And I would just put a little bit in there. But I really think Palantir stock's the new Apple, so I don't know. Really? Yeah, it's like one of the most bizarre cults ever. I don't get it. It's real cell phone weirdness. Like, what do you mean this guy created the white race to oppress you? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know, guys. I think that's all from me today. Learn what the world is. Learn how to be happy in it. The black pill stuff is not appealing because the wheel in the sky is going to turn anyway. Okay? It's not going to end. And anyone that tells you it is in some kind of death cult. So I think that's it. I think that's it from me today. And I hope everyone's enjoyed this really random live stream where we talked about GLP1s at the top and how my tinfoil hat theory is that celebrities are on GLP1s so that they can be controlled more easily because it takes away any kind of desire at all. We talked about Spencer Pratt and other stupid political stuff. We talked about identity politics and how they don't do anyone any good. And we watched a little bit of Jesse Lee Peterson, which was really, really hilarious. So thank you, Terry, for providing that clip. Thanks, everyone who has tuned in. I will be back at some other point in time. I am currently looking for a car to put all my stuff in it and drive to Savannah. That's my plan at this time. Thank you. I'll catch you on the flip side. Take care.